Hello everyone, my name is Professor Duran. I'll be your instructor for this stats statistic course for the next 8 weeks. And welcome. So today the goal is to navigate through the course in Canvas, see what you're supposed to be doing in the next few days in terms of getting familiar with the resources that you need, what exactly you need to do in the next 4 or 5 days in order to be on par with in completing the goals for the week, right? And so this is what we're gonna do. All right, so let's get started. So right now you should be seeing my my homepage, and the homepage is pretty much subdivided into two parts, right? You have the announcements, and here you can see week one assignments and due dates, welcome students, announcement, the instructor information office hours, and some information on how to use the screen capture, and I'll let you know why a little bit later. If I forget, please, you can email me and ask me why we need to have screen capture. Okay, but that's what we have for. So the first thing you might want to do is to kind of read those announcements. But next, after those announcements, let's go through one of them, especially this one, the week one assignments and due dates. This is a week one assignments and due dates, and that's what you can expect to have every first day of the week. Every week I'm going to have week two assignments and due dates, and it's going to inform you what modules we're going to cover and what is expected throughout the week, right? So here you are expected to introduce yourself in the discussion forum, and it is graded, so you definitely want to complete this part right here. You also have the week one discussion that needs to be done by Wednesday. You also have the replies to your, not to your initial discussion, but your peers' initial discussion. Okay? That needs to be done by Sunday, right? I mean, the first one you might want to, this is it's a suggestion. Okay? Friday is a suggestion, but both of them must be due by Sunday. Okay? And then for week one, all you have to do is the homework, module 1.1 to 1.7, and it will be due also on Sunday. Okay, now, week one, or the odd week, so meaning odd week would be week 1, week 3, week 5, week 7, and so on, right? There's nothing beyond week 7 anyway. And then on the even week, week 2, 4, and so on, you will have a test, you will have a test on those weeks, right? So for module 2 or week 2, you can expect to have a test, and that test will cover week 1 and week 2. Okay, so that's very important to know. So even weeks, that's when you're gonna have your test, in addition to your homework. Okay. All right, so you can expect an email like this in the beginning of every week. All right, so moving on. So let me go back to the home page. All right, so the first thing we want to do is pretty much go and click on start here on your first day. I think today you will not be able to do that because it's not the start date is tomorrow. Let me try. Yeah, it's not gonna work this time, but you can access start here on your first day through the modules. So if you go through the modules, where it says start here, you're gonna have to go through all those items here. Okay, and it must be done and complete your introduce yourself part, and also your acknowledgement quiz. We're going to call it quiz because it was set up as a quiz, but you must do these. You have to cover all those items and make sure that you acknowledge that you've read the plagiarism policy. Okay? Once this is done, Module 1 will open up for you. If this is not done, Module 1 will not open for you. Okay? You will not be able to do any work. So, make sure that you do all those items here so that you can access Module 1. Okay? Once you have Module 1 open, then you can get started with reading the notes for Module 1 through 1.1 to 1.7, doing your discussion, your initial post, also your replies, and then do the homework, right? So you will have a direct link to MyLab Math through those, through those links. Okay? The same thing will apply. So once all the other modules are going to be opened up anyway. But to open up Module 1, you have to do all these here. Okay. Now, again, because today is not the 26th, if I click here, it's not going to open up anything, right? You cannot take this homework because we're not the 26th. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you my screen, right, from an instructor perspective. All right, so this is my homepage in MyLab Math. Obviously, I'm not a student, so my screen is going to look a little bit different from yours. But what you should see in week 1 is all the notes for modules 1.1 to week 1, module 1.7 homework. Okay? And in your in your math lab, it will be like a hyperlink, and then you should be able to click on it and get into the homework. For me, I'm gonna have to preview it, and this is what you should be able to see. All right, so for 1.1, you will have all those resources to study, right? So you have the textbook, which is 3.1 Measure of Central Tendencies. You click there, and the ebook should open up for you. Just have to be patient based on the speed of your computer. And you can, you can read through this, read through the definition, the formulas, right, for the mean, for the median, and then I'm pretty sure the mode is in one of those pages, right? Okay, so you're gonna have to go through this, all those resources. So here you have the textbook, so I'll just show you the ebook here, or you can use the videos, right? So you can use the videos. So you want to determine the mean, how to find the mean or the sample mean by hand, right? You click here. I don't know if it's going to open up. Did something open up? Let me choose another one. Not quite sure why it's not working. Do I have a pop-up problem maybe? It was working earlier. But anyway, it should open up for you. Let me try another one maybe. Let's see. Just want to make sure that it works, right? Okay, yes. Okay. So here, you definitely want to use something like this where it shows you how to do finding the mean and standard deviation of a group data. Okay, that means that the information is given to you in a frequency distribution or a frequency table, right? Which is harder than just having the data given to you. Here it's in the form of frequency table and you want to go through that, right? Given the data, you want to go through that to find the answer. Okay? So the ones that say, so if you're not familiar with Excel, then just do it by hand. But I would, I will make the effort to figure out how to do it with Excel. And those are the information given to you here. Okay, so you have that. You can also do it by hand, right? So let me see here. By using a calculator. I'm trying to see if they do it by hand, but no. Okay, so they have Excel. Maybe I'm not seeing it now. Okay, yeah, so that's the one here. Right here. Okay. All right, so approximate the standard deviation from a frequency distribution and
in this example, we'll learn to approximate.
Right, so here, to do it by hand, it shows you how to do it. Okay? All right. You have a lot of resources here. All right, so those are just the notes. Now, let's look at the actual homework. Let's preview that, and let's see what they have for you. So here you have about 7 questions, right? And so the assumption is that you've gone through the notes, you know how to do it, or have an idea of how to do it. And here you have, the questions. You have to find, what do you have to find? You approximate the mean and the standard deviation of amount of savings. And here you have to click the icon to see the frequency table. Okay? And then you can open it up in Excel. Okay? And then you can use the other video that shows you how to do it and do it from there, right? You don't want to use StatCrunch. You want to use, unless you know how to do it. But I would use you will use Excel. That would be your best bet. Okay? So you will use that and then go through the steps. Now, if you do it by hand, you can go through help me solve this or view an example. Help me solve this is when you gotta have a sense of how to do it, but you still want to do the calculation yourself and check whether you got it right. Okay? And if you get it right, then you enter your information first, check if the answer is right, then you go to the next step and see if you know how to do it kind of with a little bit of a guidance, right? If you don't know how to do it or you forgot, then you can view an example and it will show you how to do it from the first part to the last part. Okay? And that's it. Help me solve this and view an example. You can get more help. Like, for example, you're more into the video stuff. Then you can say, okay, well, I forgot how to do it, but let me watch the videos related to this, and here it is. And that's the video related to that particular problem. Okay? So I think this is pretty cool. And then you can review like this. What did I do? I think I got out of it. Let me get it back. Sorry about that. Okay? And so you can get the video, you can get the textbook section, you get StatCrunch, but you're not going to use that. I would not advise of using StatCrunch. Or you can ask your instructor, right? Once you've exhausted all those other resources, then you can ask my instructor. I don't have that feature because I am the instructor. And what's going to happen when you ask my instructor, it will send me this problem, and then you can ask me the question. What are you struggling with? Well, I cannot find the standard deviation. I think I'm missing a part. And then at that point, whatever you're working on, you can show me with the screenshot, right? Where you're struggling. Well, you can say, oh, well, I find 5.5 as the standard deviation, but here I have 6.2 as the standard deviation. Where did I go wrong? And then you show me your work, and I can kind of help you fixing those steps. Okay? Okay, so that's your homework. Even within your homework, you get some more help to complete your work. Mind you that you do not have those options when you're doing your test. Okay? So this is only available through your homework. Okay, moving on. So that's for my math lab. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And, by email. All right, so let me get back into... Okay, let's get to the modules. Okay, so that's for me here. Okay, so you have that. I'm forgetting something. Course resources. So once you're going to go through all those things here, you do have some course resources. BrainFuse. BrainFuse is an online tutoring services that it only provides 3 hours per month, which is very, I keep on saying it's cheap. It is very cheap, right? It should be unlimited as far as I'm concerned, but they're only providing 3 hours. And so, yeah, you kind of have to use it in a smart way. If you were to use those hours, I would say use it during the weekend, for example, right? If you're really struggling, then using during the weekend. If you're running out of hours, I will have to request extension through the administration. It might take a while. But you also have some other options where you have the math lab. So Unitech Learning Math Lab to support any classes. So here you can, so if BrainFuse, you don't have any more hours, then you can schedule an individual appointment with David Hayes. Mr. Hayes is a full-time professor that provides tutoring, one-on-one tutoring. And the process is basically you call him based on the college you belong to. So if you're at the Unitech, you're going to email thea's@unitechcollege.edu. You can call him at that number, but it's best to to email him and to share your name, your school email address, the course code of this course, and the course name as well, and then my name. Okay? And so that's it. And then it will schedule a one-on-one for you. I don't know when it's going to reply to you, but it will reply, I will hope, within 24 hours or so. Okay. So that's the Math Tutor Lab. And that's pretty much it as far as the course resources. You have a lot of them. Make sure that you read through the syllabus. Okay. If the syllabus is not updated because of the discussion forums and the platform that we're using. So the first 2 lines here for the evaluation method. For the discussion, there's only 3 weeks of discussion, week 1 through 3. Those are the only weeks that you're going to have discussions. Okay. The test will be done through my math lab or, my lab statistics, whatever you want to call it, through Pearson. And so this needs to change. So I need to let them know to change this part right here. But in terms of the grading scale, you must have a 75% or above to pass this course. A 70% will not do it. Okay? You must have a 75% in order to pass this course. Okay? And so, if you do not have 75% on any given week, you're going to receive an email from me stating that at this point, you are failing the course because either you did not submit your assignments, or you submitted them late, or maybe you're struggling. You generally struggling with the material, and I will offer you a way to get some tutoring, right? Or maybe it's a problem with time management, and then maybe I will give you some tips on time management. Okay, so that's very important. Make sure that you are always above 75% in terms of homework completion. Okay, if you are struggling, and usually you will know that you're struggling during the first week if you start early. If you don't start early, then obviously you're trying to rush to complete your work and you actually do poorly. That's to be expected because you're rushing through reading and you're trying to complete some work that you barely understand. So in that case, it's about time management. But if you start early, like let's say on Monday or Tuesday, and you go through you're progressing, and then you feel like you're struggling, then you should definitely reach out to me and let me know, hey, I'm really, really struggling. What kind of help can I get? When can we meet? When can we, we need to make some arrangement. Okay? So that's for the grading scales and expectation in terms of, meeting those percentages. All right, so let's talk about late assignments and extension policies. Okay, so in the past, Unitech has been very lenient in offering extension to any students, right? If they request, we will be very open to give you extension at any time. It didn't really matter. We just do it. So this is no longer an option, right? Because of accreditation and so on, meaning some accreditation, this is not possible anymore. And so you will only be given extension for extenuating circumstances. So during the week, I'm going to send you an email that's going to talk about late submission and extension. And there are going to be some rules, listed there. Unfortunately, it is not, there is supposed to be a link here that has, the PDF file for late submission and extension, but I do not see it. And so I'm going to ask the administration to update this and to provide that information, but I will definitely send you that information during the week. Okay, so you must submit all your work before Sunday. All right, so I am aware people have families, you have work, and so on, but the majority of you are in the same situation. So everybody must manage their time in order to complete all the work. If you start doing your work on Saturday, then you must be really, really comfortable with the topics in order to do so. If not, then I advise you to get started as soon as possible. like Monday, Tuesday. This is where you need to get started with the reading, and then maybe on Wednesday you start doing some work, and pace yourself throughout the week to complete all the homework. And so also that you can ask some questions, right? And you can reach out. But if you get started on Saturday, I'm not available on Saturday. Those are not my office hours. Okay? So let's understand that. So if you get started on Saturday or Sunday, then you got to be very, very comfortable with what you can do. Okay? So, so big change with late submission and extensions. Okay? So we'll discuss the rules and policies a lot more during the week. And that's about it for me. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me by email. And when I say by email, make sure that you use an inbox here, right, within Canvas to email me. If you use the email Audurand at eaglegatecollege.edu, then because I've received so many emails from administration, from the school in general, then your email may get lost, right? And so we don't want that. So the best way to communicate with me for you guys is through this inbox in Canvas. Okay. So that's it for me. So I am done, and I will chat with you in the discussion forum. Okay. All right. Take care, guys.